Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, May 14th. Looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and NQ. So another very, very quiet, lazy day. And then we get a price spike in K period in ES, in J period in NQ, which enables us to go out with double distribution days to the upside. Inside day up occurs very late in ES and K period. I guess you can say it was successful, although it was very late. NQ was an absolute failure a bunch of times. Right? They got above it very nicely in B period, kept going back and forth, came all the way in, and then finally in I and J got above it and got going. Righty opened with a gap above their inside day, fill the gap in A, and then spend the majority of the day trading basically back and forth through yesterday's high until they push up late in the day. They end up with only the day's high and low and an 8-wide POC. NQ ends with an afternoon pullback in G, the day's high and low, price spike right above B's high, single print, and a very small price probe. ES, poor high, SPY is not, double distribution day up, and an 8-wide POC, which could never get moved. So I want to show you something here. Yes, we got some bars late, turn purple. So the yellow is the top 1% volume, the purple is 39%, and the white is 60%. So yes, price went higher again late in the day, but the majority of it, right, 6% of it was the lightest volume. The volume I don't think is going to be in the top 10, thank goodness. No, it's not. So, we're almost at 52 million. Strike up the band. The volume's going crazy. So we're not going to be in the top 10 smallest for volume or range. I had pretty much of a wash day because ES caught me on a long for in D&E and finally did what I thought it was going to do, which is take out that IB high. But the one thing that did occur today, or that NQ and Righty accomplished, which ES already had, is they are now up on the weekly and daily, just like ES is. Now, the monthlies are all balanced, and they're all inside months, basically halfway through the month. PPI, again, another joke number. I tell you, they're useless. They're meaningless. They left a beautiful excess on the overnight low. And then Powell started speaking. What he was saying, basically, I thought was not bullish. Okay, he said, basically, forget about rate cuts, but we're not looking to raise rates. We're looking to keep them steady. That's not bullish to me. The market kept chugging up on that in B period. However, once he finally was done, the market digested and decided they didn't like what it heard, at least initially, pushed back, and then said, you know what, who cares, and right back to what they were trying to do early in the day. I shorted ES's overnight prior to the opening and did well on that. That trade has a very, very high success rate. I've never kept stats on it, but ES and NQ have an incredible penchant for front running overnight highs and lows. So in ES, I did that against the overnight high and our afternoon rally high. Where are we here? I'm sorry. Here, so I shorted before the opening against the afternoon rally high and the overnight high, and it worked as it came in. Eventually took it out in A period, but that trade was a success. And then in A period in NQ, I took the long to get the overnight high because they hadn't gotten theirs yet. So that worked out. And then on the turnover, the market was pushing strong, took a long on that. So the day started off good. C period, I basically broke even on a couple longs in NQ. One I made on initially when they tried to go trend up early. It took 3 attempts for trend day up to work in NQ. In ES, it took only 2. And then on the single print fill, I took a long. Thought that would hold, but it came in even more, took that off for a loss. So I pretty much washed on that. Then D&E came around. I really thought ES would have good odds of getting the IB high. They had the overnight high. They were still one time framing up in D when it started. Value had almost lifted totally higher. So I'm like, I think it's going to get it. Well, I started along, long story short, started along at 56, 50, did a lot of adding, ended up losing on the trade, probably about total, because I did well on some of the add-ons, but I lost about 63 points on it, which gave away most of what I had made earlier. It turned out to be an afternoon pullback in G, and then the market finally did what I thought it was going to do. The only other trade I took, though, after that was, believe it or not, a short and I period at the time, half back, which I got paid 4 points on before J period decided to start pushing higher. The one trade I missed was to get the IB high in NQ. I was not quick enough on the draw to get it, and I didn't know they were really going to try to rip and go trend and be successful. They failed earlier in the day, but it did work. So I think we saw the market okay. It just decided to do what it wanted to do at its own pace, its own time. So I'm not unhappy with that. Again, didn't lose a lot on the day. It was pretty much a wash. ES goes out with a trend day up. They still have the trend day down from April 9th above them. So look at that. They're hemmed in here. What's going to be success? What's our lines in the sand tomorrow? Your price probe, right? Price, not probe, spike. This is very important for bulls to hold for two reasons. It'd be the most positive response, and you'd have higher value. You open below B's high, nothing really changed then from what happened for the majority of the day. Same goes with NQ. You open above the base of the price spike, B's high, you're going to have higher value. You open below it, again, not much has changed, even though they did accomplish getting the daily and the weekly up. As far as destinations go, today's high is 523.83 in SPY. SPY only has 4 other destinations left to the all-time high, not including the one I just gave you. For the downside, single prints 522.98 to 41, and today's low 520.56. ES's high is 74.25. Then their single print started at 65.50, get filled at 60, and then today's low is 41.25. Now again, I don't carry forward the 8 wide pocket 46.25. I'm not going to ignore it, but I'm not going to carry it forward because I set a parameter of 9 wide or more. And then on the chart, so our monthly is a 3-month balance inside month right now, although getting very close to the high of last month. Weekly is up, one time framing up 3 weeks out of an inside week. So after 21 out of 22 weeks up, the market took a 3-week breather, 4-week breather if you want to count the inside week, and now we resume back up. Excuse me. And the daily is up. Now, we've gotten no distance away. We're one time framing up for 4 days, but we really haven't pulled away tremendously, and the volume stinks. So again, it won't be very hard to wipe out all of these daily lows in one fell swoop. Think about it. We closed at 523.30. The bottom of this, where our old balance was, is 513.30. That's a $10 range. If the market ever decided to really come in, it could wipe out all 7 of these days in a heartbeat. I think the bulls are going to hit an all-time high, in the S&P at least, but they need some real strong reserves to get going. Otherwise, it's still being built. This house is being built on a bed of sand instead of concrete. My website, new website's up and running. Go check it out. There's a lot of different price points, so please feel free, check it out. I'd appreciate that. Thank you for liking and subscribing to this channel. Enjoy your evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.